even if they wanted to pay you more, they just can't. They've dragged us all the way to London because of bridal makeup prices. You want that makeup to last through a storm, the risking of your life, then you want to pay how much for that exactly? You see why you should not compromise. Here we go again, talking about this controversial topic. Hi, my name is Candy Ajijilek and I am a practicing makeup artist. I do creative and I do bridal makeup as well, and I dabble in a little bit of everything, and I have been doing makeup for the past 9 years, going on 10 in 2024. So I feel comfortable doing this video. This is a topic that people typically shy away from, but if you know me, you know that I love to have tough conversations and I do not shy away from this, and information sharing is what I love to do. So I know that there is no manual on how to charge clients or how to price your services as a makeup artist or as a creative in general. But I know it would help if there's someone who is telling you, what you need to consider when you set your own prices. Because I'm not here to tell you charge this amount. I'm here to tell you what you should consider when you are charging a certain amount, so that when someone asks you to explain why you are charging a certain amount, you'd be bold enough and you would know exactly why you are doing so that you wouldn't stutter and you would be confident in your prices. So I wrote notes so that I would not forget stuff that I want to talk about, and without further ado, I would jump right into the video. So what I'll be categorizing my prices as, and the things I would like you to consider when you are setting your prices, is 5 things actually. Would be going on industry, environment, kit business cost, so the cost of having your kit and running your business, and expertise, and then the price of bridal makeup, because those are totally different things. First things first, you want to create a list of what your services consist of. Just like when you go to a restaurant, you want to see options and you want to see prices. So this is like a menu of your services. So if you can create a list or a rate card, so to say, or like a portfolio. I think a portfolio is a better term to explain this, is to create a list of what you usually do. So if you do creative makeup, bridal makeup, casual makeup, glam makeup, TV makeup, all those things, write them down. It's always good to have a list that you'll be working with. Now, what makes up your service? What does your service consist of? You need to consider a lot of things like the cosmetics that you use, transportation, portfolio, advertisement across all social media platforms, and then some things like disposables, things you cannot reuse. So things like wipes, micellar water, just little things you think don't count, all count. Now, when I say you should think of charging or pricing your services according to industry, I mean you should look at your environment and your competition. So your fellow makeup artists, what are they charging? In the bridal makeup artist area, what do they charge for bridal makeup? In the casual makeup area, what do they charge for that kind of makeup? You get the picture? I'm saying you should use industry not as a yardstick, but as a variable you will consider when you are setting your own prices. I'm trying to build something here, so stick with me. The next is location. Where you are based will determine how much you make. No matter how good you are, no matter how expensive your kit is, if you are in a low income area, just bear in mind that you'll be getting low income as well. People might not necessarily see the value that you bring, because why are you bringing expensive things to an area that earns low income? There are affordable things that can get you good results as well, but then the more expensive things would generally not make you that much money, because even if they wanted to pay you more, they just can't. They don't earn enough to spend that kind of money for you. Next is expertise. Now, expertise has to go into like a lot of things like mastery of technique, years of experience, because doing something for long years says a lot about consistency, but it doesn't say a lot about you getting better. So it is about mastery of technique, years of experience, and then business knowledge as well, because you have to also know the business to know exactly what you are doing, and then to be able to build something out of your makeup career. Now, the last thing I'll be talking about before we calculate our prices is your kit cost. Now, I think this is the biggest elephant in the room. A lot of people just come out of makeup school and start slapping prices. Oh, I see this makeup artist charging 10-15k. I'm charging the same amount with her. After all, we're in the same area. I can book the same clients. No, that's totally wrong. You're going about it the wrong way. Yes, you might actually be lucky. But I don't think that's the best way to go about pricing your services. Now, generally, what I do is I don't joke with lists, I don't joke with notepads, and I don't joke with taking down records. Why? Because it helps you keep track of information, your business, your money, and your spending, your income, your expenditure. Yes, an accountant. Yes, I studied business, and this is my area of expertise. But I've always been this kind of person who is more accountable, and this helps you to be a very, very good business person as well. So what is my advice? I would advise you to get a notepad. I am pretty sure everybody has a notebook somewhere. You don't have it, spare a few change. Just spare a few little coins and go get yourself a book and a pen, because you are going to need to calculate. What you need to do now is to calculate, or not even start calculating. First of all, write down every single item you use to create a look, from your face cleanser, your moisturizer, your micellar water, razor, eye pencil, spoolie brush, the littlest things, foundation sponge, your brush set, your powder palette, eyeshadow, every single thing. Take them into account. Some things you might write, single, like one foundation, because obviously you're not using 10 foundations per face. So, or even if you use like a mixture, what you can do is, in order to get the average that you put on your list. Now, if you have 10 foundations, sometimes you mix like 5 to get one person's shade, which is not ideal. But anyway, you take the number, like, okay, 5 foundations, 5 different prices, add all of them, add all those 5 foundation prices, then divide the amount by 5. You get the average. That's the amount you put on the list under foundation. When you are done totaling your entire list, add the entire amount. Let's assume that your list comes to a total of 150,000. I am not saying your kit is 150k. It might be cheaper, it might be 1 million, but add that amount and then divide that amount by the amount of people that you think one product can go through. For me, I like to divide by 20, because I feel like one foundation bottle can go over 20 people. So when we divide this amount by 20, what do we get? We get 7,500 at cost. Now, when you get 7,500 at cost, that means you cannot charge below this amount. 7,500 for a full face is the cost that it will take you to run your business. Now, if you, like for me now, I don't have a studio, but if you do have a studio, please do yourself a favor and factor in that studio cost. Do you understand? So when you divide this amount by 20 people, and you get a certain amount, you cannot go below this cost. Why? Because you will be ruining your business if you do this. Let's assume that someone comes and they say they don't want lashes. Yes, you can, give a little discount here and there, considering the price of lashes only. But do not go below this cost, because this will be ruining your business. Now let's go to you adding profit. Let's assume that after you've calculated your cost, you then place a price of 10,000 naira or 12,000 naira for a face beat. A normal face beat that someone comes to meet you for, not home service. That means you'll be having a profit of, if you are charging 10k, you have profit of 2.5. If you are charging 12,000, you have a profit of 4.5. And if someone wants a discount, you can now stretch or shrink within this 4.5 that you added on top, not within your 7.5. That 7.5 is non-negotiable. Why? It is just enough to run your business, and you will not get any profit though, just to keep the business running. So the only way you can give a discount is if you'll be cutting yourself at a loss. If this person is worth you not gaining over. If this person is worth you running a business on 0-0, fine. But your business will not lose, but you will not gain. We will give this person a discount and move on. Now that you've set your basic makeup price, we're going to move on to home service price. Home service is something that I typically am not very fond of, because it can be tricky. It is something that is done at the comfort of the client. Like that's the basis of that one. So you would leave your base. If you don't have a studio, you work from home, which means you're going to have to pack a kit according to who you're going to meet, or according to a different setup. Basically, you're just packing stuff so that you do not forget what you would use on this certain client, and then you would leave your home, your safety, your comfort, and then go to do a certain person's makeup. Which means, one, the time you're going to use to do that person's face, you need to factor in the transportation time, the time it takes for you to get there, the cost as well, and then the clients you might have missed while going to do this person's makeup as well, which is why home service should generally cost more. Personally, I like to factor in transportation according to the area I'm going to. If the place is closer, less charge. If the place is farther, more charges. So this would depend on you. Always try to find out information before you charge the person. Okay, if you're talking to the client, this is how much I regularly charge you, but transportation is going to make the price a little different. Let me just find out and get back to you. Or you can find out before you reply the message even. Bridal makeup is another big elephant in the room. This has caused a lot of controversy online. People have been so mad, like they have insulted, dragged makeup artists like Tiger Generator. They've dragged us all the way to London because of bridal makeup prices. But people do not consider the fact that bridal makeup is like TV makeup. You want that makeup to last. You want that makeup to last almost 24 hours if that is possible. Why? Because it's an early morning call. You do their makeup as early as 4 to 5 a.m., especially for those brides that we glam up here in Nigeria. And then they go to church, and then after church they take some pictures, and then afterwards, they eat, and then they go to reception. Now, if you do not do touch up for brides, you want that makeup to last through them eating, them going to reception, dancing under all that hot lights, in between people, so many people crowding them up, and then their heavy dress that is like causing heat from within. You want that makeup to last through a storm, basically, and then you want to pay how much for that exactly. So I don't know about other makeup artists too, but for me, my bridal makeup kit is a different kit. I'm not even lying. It's a different kit. The setting spray I use for a regular person, it's not the setting spray I use for a bride. Why? Because they are two different people. They require different hours of longevity, and they are supposed to be charged differently. Apart from the early morning call, the different kit costs, the discomfort of you traveling, sometimes you have to spend a day or two. The risking of your life, the losing of other clients, so many other bookings you could have taken, but you took just one. People do not consider all these things. The things you would have done within that period they are serving the bride, touch-up kits, touch-up time, complimentary makeup, you have to put all those things into consideration. Now, I'm going to make an example. I know you guys have seen this setting spray somewhere. This setting spray is the GOAT. Like, it will set your makeup and it will not move. But how much is it? I know that the small one is about 11 to 13k or 11 to 15, and then the big one is about 18,000 for a setting spray that might not reach 20 people. And then that's just one part of the makeup products. You have things like moisturizers, foundations that cost about 25,000 naira per bottle, and some of them do not last up to 20 people, like I said. So you need to charge a totally different amount because the cost for this is different. So you use my cost analysis again to calculate your bridal makeup kit and then see how much difference it makes charging a different price for makeup for bride and a different price for regular clients. Now, I feel like there's so much more I could say about this topic, but I wouldn't want to act like the know-it-all. But if you have any questions or you would like me to film a part 2, please feel free to drop everything you are thinking about right now in the comment section, and I'll be happy to answer and chat with you about it. One thing I also want to talk about is discounts. Now, the discounts, you can give discounts to anybody at your discretion. One thing you just need to make sure to think about is, number one, let it not cost your safety. Number two, let it be worth giving a discount over, because the more you charge people less, thinking that they're going to book you more, the more you're selling yourself short and you'll attract cheaper clients. If your kit costs higher, like 7.5 for cost, and someone comes to beg you to do 5k makeup and you do it, the next person that they meet, they will tell the person, this person did for me at 5k. That person will come and beg you with that 5k because they know somehow you will accept. And as soon as you accept, that's how the word keeps spreading, that this is how much you accept if they press a little harder. So you need to consider if that's the kind of reputation you want to build for your business, and then you proceed to know how much discount you're going to give. Please and please, always consider safety. You see this home service and bridal makeup, it's not all of them that are for you. I'm going to have to wrap this up because space. Anyway, I just want to quickly state that before you take a job, the first thing is security. Upgrade your skills, guys. Upgrade your skills. Always stay abreast with the new trends. You don't have to hop on every trend, but the only way to get better at this job is trial and error. You might have started off by charging so low and you've lost, but that's the only way you would learn that it doesn't pay you to charge less. Please think long and hard before you give discounts. Learn and upgrade your skills so that your work speaks for you and people do not ask you to explain. And if they do ask you to explain, do not over explain, because the more you speak, all they hear is you trying to defend yourself, and they're just waiting for the time when you say, okay, bring what you have. Do not over explain. Explain what you need to. I charge this because I bring such and such value to the table, and you keep it pushing. And you know what I said about having a notebook? That notebook is not just for you calculating how much to charge your clients. One thing you should also do is every single client you take records. You write maybe makeup for so and so person, bridal makeup for so and so person. Write the cost of what you should have charged, just your kit cost, what it costs to do the job. And then you write the price, and then you write the profit on the side. At the end of the month, total everything, total the cost, total the total revenue you made, that is the total from the price you charged, and then total your total profit. That profit you've gotten, all the 100% of that profit is not all yours. Why? Because you have a business to run. So when you total it, all the whole revenue is also not all yours. So what you're going to do is you go on to the total price, you minus the total cost, which is what it took you to do all the makeup, and obviously the price minus cost will give you profit, obviously. So you keep the cost one side, because that is what it's going to take to run your business. You replace it into savings for rent, you replace it into kit, replacement of things that finished, you replace it into buying products, and then the profit. Now, instead of taking 100% of your profit, I recommend you divide it into three. 1/3 of that should go into your business again, to reinvest, buy something new, to resell, or to improve your kit, or to pay for a new skill. The other half should go into savings, not for spending for the business. Save it for the future, for something you want to do. And then the third half is what you now pay yourself. You see why you should not compromise, so that your profit will choke and then you can pay yourself something at the end of the month. I do hope you learned something from this video. If you have any questions, ask them in the comment section below. Comment any other topics you'd like me to talk about in my next video. And remember to subscribe, like, and share this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.